Good evening. I'll call this meeting to order, the Town Planning Advisory Committee, as of Monday, September 15th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We also acknowledge that people of African descent have been in Nova Scotia for over 400 years. We honor and offer gratitude to those ancestors of Mi'kmaq and African descent who came before us to this land. I would ask for a motion to accept the agenda we have, which, aside from our administrative tasks, just has one item on it. Would anybody like to? Sarah Bell? Okay, I have, or Ms. Delorier would like to move. Do I have a seconder for that? Ms. Langell. Okay, thank you. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, motion carried. So we have our minutes from the meeting of June 23rd. If anybody has any changes to be made to those minutes, please let me know. And otherwise, if anybody is prepared to move to accept those minutes, please do so. Ms. Delorier, thank you. Mr. Jordan, I think you need to be our seconder because Ms. Langell wasn't at the meeting. No problem. Are you okay with the minutes? Okay. Well, all those in favor of adopting those minutes as circulated, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, motion carried. All right, so the first and only item on our agenda this evening, as I mentioned, is 155 Arthur Street, which is step 2 of the standard process development agreement for Title Veterinarian Service or Veterinary Services Incorporated. Jacob, I think this is your project, although we heard from Mr. Fox the last time, so please go ahead and let us know where we are in this process.
Okay, thank you very much and good evening, everyone. So yes, I'm here to take you through the second PAC meeting for an application made by Title Veterinary Services Incorporated to permit the animal and pet services use at 155 Arthur Street. So here we have the subject lands. So they're situated on the edge of Truro's commercial downtown, and the surrounding neighborhood includes a mixture of residential, institutional, and commercial uses, including the Truro Veterinary Hospital, which this proposal would exist in service to. So it would serve the existing veterinary hospital. This is the same property, and it shows the zoning and the designation. So it is both zoned and designated as urban corridor in the town's zoning map, as well as the town policy area map. Also worth noting, it is right next door to the downtown core zone and designation, which is relevant for the policy that enables this development to be considered through a development agreement. Here's a picture of the subject property. This is it seen looking north off of Arthur Street. And so this building has previously been used for commercial purposes. It used to be an optometrist clinic, and it was also a boutique as well. And the next slide shows it looking from the back. So this is the property facing south from the gravel parking lot. So the proposal itself is to convert this existing building at 155 Arthur Street into a cat-only veterinary care clinic, and this is done as a means of expanding the existing operations of the Truro Veterinary Hospital. So this clinic, while it is intended only to serve cats, it falls under the animal and pet services land use, and this permits the retailing of pet supplies as well as the provision of animal services. The applicant added that they don't intend to house animals overnight or host surgeries in this building. So while animal and pet services is not a permitted use in the urban corridor zone, which is what this zone is in, policy IM11, which is shown here, allows council to consider a use that's permitted in the downtown core, which is just to the east, without a municipal planning strategy amendment, so long as the downtown core policy area abuts the parcel. So in this case it does, and so this is something that council can consider through development agreement. This application is at the second step of the standard application process, which is for initial public engagement. And so this is PAC's opportunity to review any changes. In this case, there really aren't any changes. And so the next step would be for the proposal to be presented to council, in which they would be able to make their final decision. And then the fourth step is for the development agreement to be issued. So in terms of the public participation for this project, a development application sign has been posted on the subject property. Information has been posted on the town's website under their portal for active development applications, and a mail out will be sent to property owners within 150 meters of the subject property regarding public hearing notification. And that public hearing would be the sort of final step in terms of the consideration of this project, where council has the opportunity to make a decision regarding the application. And that's the end of my presentation. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Planner McPherson. Does anybody have any questions, or either for the planner or for our applicant, who either of you are welcome to step down to the microphone if anybody needs to ask you anything? I think we're all pretty okay with this one. We did discuss it a little bit the last time, just about what it was involving and things. So I don't think there was any objection to going to the standard process, and kind of knew this would be the next step. So I do see in the materials that some people wrote in about the project, and it's been all favorable at this point, so that's helpful as well. And other than that, I think we can just move this along to the next step. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Do you have any questions for us, or for? Oh, you go ahead. Okay, you do. And I was wondering, I was going to actually ask that, because where was that? Can you, Jacob, do you mind just going back to the screen where you show where we are? Next one? Yeah. Okay.
So it isn't quite clear on the slide, but at this point we'd be looking for a recommendation from the committee for them to proceed to for the application to proceed to council for a public hearing. Public hearing has already been scheduled, which is a bit unusual, but in the interest of time for the applicant, we did go ahead and set the public hearing date already, assuming that we would come up with a favorable recommendation from the committee. So that's where we are, but we are looking for a recommendation today as well on this, and the recommendation is outlined there as staff recommend that council approve the well, it's recommended that this committee would recommend to council that the application be approved.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Ms. Laurier. So the recommendation and the motion is that the Planning Advisory Committee recommend to council to approve the application by Truro Title Vet Services, Inc. to permit the animal and pet services land use on 155 Arthur Street. So that motion is on the table. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Okay, Ms. Landrill? Okay. Any other discussion or questions or comments? Okay, I will ask the question. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Any contrary minded? I think I heard everybody, so I think that was a unanimous motion. Okay. Well, thank you. That should be good then. We're all a little rusty. It's been a while. since June. Okay, well, we have a little bit of discussion about our next meeting, just whether members of the committee are okay with September 29th, which is 2 weeks from today. Does that work for you guys? Okay, Ms. Nigel, what are your thoughts on that? That's okay? Okay.
So I guess the significance was that it was
The day
the Monday
before.
before, yeah, Truth and
Yeah.
Reconciliation, so, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I guess unless you're told otherwise, we will expect for that to be the next meeting's date, September 29th. Okay,
No, the public hearing is, the first Monday in October, and that'll be at 1 o'clock here in council chambers. And so that's the next step for us? That's the last step for you guys, yeah. So, and if it goes through. Yep. Yep. Then you need to sign your development agreement. Sign your development agreement. We would send that off to legal counsel. They registered it against the property. It's recorded at the Registry of Deeds against the property. And that usually takes about a week, a little bit more maybe, and then you'd be good to apply for your permits after that.
Okay.
Or
So
open,
I
I
would
guess.
apply for the permit, and that's when the inspector would.
Yeah. Good.
okay, I just need a motion to adjourn. Okay, thank you.